Hey, everybody, it's Jerry Archer of the KX Morning Ride with Ellis and Archer, and we are pleased to be joined by the very first guest that we've had since COVID. Of course, with the lockdowns and with everybody trying to be as safe as possible, it is now safe for us to open up the doors here at the palatial KX96 Studios and welcome a man who has many awards. He's got nominations. Of course, we all remember the CMA. Or the Grammy nomination, rather, for Blue Ain't Your Color with Keith Urban, of course. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's roll out the red carpet and give a welcome to Steven Lee Olsen. We have music for it here. And here we go. We spare no expense here. Steven Lee Olsen, everybody. He's making his way around. Hang on. Hey, I just want to give this the full treatment. Okay, all right, okay. Enough of that. Steven Lee Olsen, everybody.
What's going on, dude?
Hey,
Come
man,
on.
how are you?
Good to see you. Good to be
you
here.
Family man, you. Look
I
at
know,
you.
right? Went into COVID all single and came out of COVID with a baby and the best human I've ever met.
Tell me about that experience, first of all. I mean, and other artists have done it. Maren Morris, of course.
Yeah.
But what's that like? You have to take precautions. We went through that with our grandson, too. It's crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that.
I mean, it was crazy. Yeah. I mean, we definitely made the most of our time during COVID. We got married in our backyard. And now Lincoln Paul, our son, is 20 months. And it was very interesting. I've never raised a child outside of COVID. So, I mean, it was a little gnarly there for a minute.
Is he going to be raised by country? Or what's
definitely raised by country. That's all we listen to in the house.
Let's talk about your latest song, Nashville or Nothing. Was there a backup plan, as you say in the song, or nothing? There was nothing.
Absolutely nothing. I still don't have a backup plan.
You don't need one.
I mean, let's hope, right?
Two number one songs.
I mean, I'm very blessed and grateful for the career that I've had. You know, it's definitely taken a while. I moved to Nashville, believe it or not, like 15 years ago.
Wow.
You know, that's a long time. But you know, that song is my love letter to Nashville. It's every word in that is true to my story, and it's been awesome, kind of like to watch how people perceive that and relate it to their own lives. You know, for me, it's Nashville and country music. For someone else, it could be being a doctor or whatever. It's like just chasing your dreams and, like you said, having no backup plan.
That's a great way to look at things. I had the same thing for radio. This was it. I love talking to people. I think it was when people laughed when I said something, a class clown kind of thing. This is it. I want to do this. I don't know what it is. And then David Letterman inspired me.
Oh, yeah, he's a good one.
Right?
Of course.
So,
legend.
Who inspired you? Is there one
lot.
person you can put your...
I would say, you know, as early back as Elvis. I'd say, like, he was the first artist that I think I actually recognized, and I had this, like, little stuffed monkey, and my mom says that I named it Elvis, and I just took it everywhere with me. Yep. And then later on in life, you know, my mom always listened to Shania and Garth, Vince Gill, and Brooks and Dunn, and John Denver was one that I loved. But that's kind of, that's what really, you know, I'd say planted the seed of being a country artist for me.
Not only a country artist, a performer, a triple threat here, a songwriting. Songwriting is, to me, the most important, simply because without the song, you don't have, without the lyrics, you don't have a song. How does the songwriting process work for you? Do you get the lyrics in your head, or do you have the music first, or is it a combination?
It's, you know, honestly, that's such a good question, first off. I can tell you that there is no formula for me, but it usually happens this way. I'll get a concept in my mind or a title that I know how I want to turn the phrase or hook it, or the emotion that I want to go behind it. And then usually the music, I just try and make that frame the idea in the best way, something that pulls out the emotion I'm trying to pull out.
Sure.
But yeah, usually it's titles. I'll get titles first and run from that.
Right. What about getting married, having and being a father now? And of course, we should note from an employee, used to be an employee here at Durham Radio, KX Century, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I hope you don't mind me mentioning
No, please.
But has that changed your attitude about the way you want to write songs? Do you look at life differently now and maybe want to change things, or do you want to continue on the same path of how you wrote songs before?
It's always evolving. That's one thing I love about Nashville. It's I'm still in school, and I always stay a student. Because Nashville, there's just like the absolute best songwriters in the world, all genre. Like everybody comes to Nashville, and that's why I moved there in the first place. So I'm constantly learning, and I love that part. It just keeps fueling the love of songwriting for me. It's the thing that made me go to Nashville in the first place. So, is
there somebody you've learned the most from?
There's a few. Hillary Lindsey. She is just about to get inducted into the Country Music Songwriter Hall of Fame, which is insane. She's always been a writer that I've just been so in awe of, and funny enough, I got her. She's the one singing background vocals in my song Nashville or Nothing.
Right.
I got my hero to kind of sing my love letter to Nashville, and it just makes that song that much sweeter.
You said you didn't write songs based on a formula. The process, though, in Nashville, from what we understand, it's a 9-to-5 thing, right? Like a lot of the writers
used to be 9 to 5.
Okay, tell me.
When I first moved to Nashville, it was 9 to 5, and you could get 2 songs, 2 different sessions in one day.
Right.
Since I've now lived there, it went from 9 to 10, starting at 10, and 10 was probably like I want to say 5-6 years ago, and now they start at 11. And they're starting to inch towards noon.
Oh,
and I'm like,
I'd love that.
I after my first cup of coffee, I need to get moving. My brain is just on fire, and that's my magic window. But yeah, it's we get in a room, we drink about 4 coffees each. We tell stories and shoot the shit, and then whoever has the best title or concept just spits it out, and we play Go Fish until we're all like, yes, that's the one.
That's the one. It goes back and forth.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Absolutely.
How many songs have you written? I'm sure you have during these past 2.5 years with someone else, but over video. Does that make a difference?
Yes. I mean, we had to kind of audible to that, to Zoom rights, which was an adjustment for sure. It's just with the lag, you cannot sing together by any means. So. But I still managed to make the most of it. I just got a song cut with Lady A, not Antebellum.
We do that here too, by the way, on the radio.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew them both. So, but Lady A, I wrote that song with Charles Kelly over Zoom, and it was one of the most. Funny enough, it was one of the most successful years I've ever had as a writer, because I guess people were locked in. Like there is no checking your phone because you're on a screen. It's like we can see you.
Yeah, right.
So if you're not paying attention or adding to the song, it's like you're very exposed. So everyone was just on their A game, and it was really awesome, actually.
Is there a perception now in the U.S., or should I say, is there more respect in the U.S. for Canadian songwriters, performers? Because for a long time, even super talented Canadians couldn't make any inroads. All of a sudden, you've got people like Madeline Merlot, who was part of that thing with Lady A. Actually, hello, major #1 hit.
Absolutely.
Are they sitting up and taking notice? Is I guess what I'm trying to get at of Canadians.
I think there's been a couple Canadians that have really made some inroads. Is that a word? Inroads?
Sure, it is.
It is
Absolutely.
now.
It is now.
It is now. Like Gordy Sampson. Gordy Sampson has been in Nashville longer than I have, and he was one that I always I admired. And he's continued to have success with every artist. I'd say he's definitely one for sure. And, watching Tennille Towns and Tennille Arts, both the Tennilles, I'm like,
and by the way, anybody who's watching, if your name's Tennille, I would go to Nashville.
Like, odds are pretty good. It turns out I'm debating changing my name. No, but yeah, both the Tennilles are just crushing it. And I think, there definitely still is a stigma there, just being a Canadian artist. They're so patriotic in the U.S. naturally, like we are. And we love our Canadian artists here a lot. So, but I guess the difference is we also love a lot of U.S. acts and other acts from around the world. But yeah, I'd say there definitely is some. There's still a stigma there, but we're working on it. And great songs are great songs. That's how you make the biggest difference. Is show up every day and just try and create the best thing possible.
Now, you won a video, CMA Ontario, of course, for relationship goals. Tell us about the video making process. When you go to make the video, do you want to stay true to the song? Because a lot of the times it could be concert footage, it could be whatever.
Yeah.
And I always thought, I don't know if it ruins the song or not, but because you have your own image, a listener has an image of what the song is. Do you take that into account? I mean, what goes through your mind when you're doing a video?
Man, so the CMAOs are interesting, like in their own right. They've definitely built something pretty cool over the years.
Absolutely.
And to start as a foundation like that. So I was, obviously very humbled. I think for the CMAOs, I won Songwriter of the Year.
Okay, yes.
For relationship goals,
Right,
and for the
Video of the Year for CCMA.
CCMAs.
Pardon
That's
me,
right.
I
Yeah,
mixed
no,
the two up.
of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
But for for making music videos, I think you really in the hands of the director. To be honest, like the director will have a bunch of directors actually shoot. Or write down a bunch of treatments, we call them.
Sure.
And if the treatment matches the song, and some directors go way far left and way far right, and those are the ones we usually love.
Okay.
So relationship goals could have gone a bunch of different ways, but we had this director named Taylor Kelly, and she's absolutely incredible, based out of Nashville, and she came up with this house party treatment that was like. Neon colors and wild.
That's
and
great.
I wore this jacket that I would
I was
never
gonna
wear
say,
in real life.
I had a jacket like that when I went to school in 1978.
Oh wow!
But it's a cool jacket. It brought back memories, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I might regret that jacket at some point, in my future. But look, you know what? This is what I'm saying. You're in the hands of your director, and she obviously knew what she was doing. I know at the end of that video, I got to jump into the pool with my clothes on. And that was the first time I'd ever done that, and that was interesting. But the whole process, it really was a pool party. It was fun, and all the videos I've ever been a part of have been a lot of fun. I love music videos. Some artists aren't crazy about them, but I love the whole process.
Yeah, no, I appreciate when someone puts a lot of effort into it. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What's coming up in the future for you? Nashville or Nothing, part of a project, what's going on?
Yeah, no, we're always going to continue to release music. That's,
Yes.
as far as albums go, it's such a strange time to be releasing music,
It is.
If it were up to me, I would be releasing double albums nonstop. But I know that, as far as like they call it consumption goes, it's more of like a singles platform
It
now.
really is.
And that I don't mind that either. It's like seems like we can release a new song to the people every 3 months,
Sure.
which is cool. So we're always just going to be releasing music. I'll never stop releasing music again. We have another song that's actually coming out called House of Home, which I'm pretty sure it drops tonight.
Okay.
Which is very exciting. I think this one is really going to hit some hearts, and in the best way. The second verse of it is, we got married in that backyard, and up until then it was just a backyard.
Wow.
So it really hits home for me, just because my wife and I, we both got married obviously in our backyard during COVID.
Yeah.
So hits a little close to home. But other than that, we head to Lasso for music festival. Montreal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
you got to get going. Actually,
I know,
there.
right? I'm late. I'm supposed to be on stage in 6 minutes. And then after that, we do Manitoulin Island, and then off to a writing trip in Georgia to try and write some new Steven Lee Olsen songs.
So what's the purpose for going to a different place, just to get a different headspace?
That's right. Yeah, you go out and get near some water and actually
Nice.
do some country shit, and then you write some country stuff.
Right on.
Yeah.
We played a little fun thing when you came out, the Royal, whatever it is, the entrance. What would be your walk-up song? Let's say you play for the Toronto Blue Jays,
Oh, yeah.
and they're playing the music every time they come up, right? They play a song.
Yep.
What's yours, or do you have one?
Oh, definitely. It's going to be the intro to Any Man of Mine by Shania Twain. I mean,
right
that stomp clap.
Yep.
I'm like, let's go. Until they start singing, and then I think it could get strange.
Then you got to
But
get
look,
a hit. Yeah.
hey, it's love is love.
Right. So, do you feel pressure when you write a song? You've had the Keith Urban huge thing, and then Kip Moore, I think, right?
Yeah.
Another one. My God. Does that add pressure to you, or do you think it just gives you confidence to be able to, I can do it again?
Both. I mean,
Yeah.
once you ring the bell, you definitely want to ring it again.
Yeah.
But it definitely gave me some validation, of that I was on the right track, and that I do know how to write a song.
Yeah.
And I should. I've been in Nashville for a really long time, and I've been learning from the absolute best. So
Yeah.
it definitely adds pressure, but I mean, I work well under pressure.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been doing the country thing for, it's got to be 30 years now. And it's nice when we see an artist up and coming and we get wind of them, as we did from you years and years ago. And we thought, this kid's got a chance here. Yeah. And you know what? It's come true. It has to be a dream come true for you.
Every day, I don't take it for granted. There's no question. I'm like, and it could all end tomorrow. So
right.
Now more than ever, now that I have my son, I just want to really be an example for him and just show him that if you stick to something, and even when it's hard,
yeah,
it'll be worth it, and that's perseverance. And I'm like, I hope he carries that on, because Dad wants him to be an NHL hockey player for the Leafs, left winger, preferably first line.
Oh. It's already started. Same with our grandson, too. We already have plans. We need defense, by the way. And probably will in about 20 years, too.
Absolutely,
yeah.
So our crop is the hope of the Toronto Maple Leafs' future.
We'll take a power forward.
Done.
And our grandson can play defense.
All right.
And we'll get to hoist the Stanley Cup.
We're manifesting that now.
Let's make it happen.
It's already happened.
Can you write that?
Putting it out there.
Right on. Steven Lee Olsen, putting great music out there, man.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Everybody, thanks for watching. Download his music and go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Yeah, why are you up?
No, I didn't mean that by your music.